In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show on this beautiful Wednesday. We are proudly brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official odds provider of Bluff City Media's family of shows. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, coming to you live from a bit warmer East Memphis today. Checking in with my guy, Drew Gann, a.k.a. Uncle Buck, a.k.a. Power Ranger, and apparently non-ball knower. Drew, how are you, buddy?
Oh, what's going on? It's a good day. Listen, I should have known. I should have known what this was going to turn into. I should have known. Kenny does his dirtiest work at night. When everybody's doing other things like watching games or movies with their kids or whatever, and then he drops just a complete and total I'm not mad about the clip. I said what I said. I stand by it. The subtext to the tweet or whatever saying that what was it? It's like everybody thinks that Cam Boozer's a top 3 pick except Uncle Buck. When in the clip I said I would still take him number 2. Like I'm like, this has gotten a little, it's blown out of proportion by you. I'm not getting any hate mail. And so maybe nobody's watching or maybe some people agree with me. I don't know. But
I don't think anybody's agreeing with you. I think people are just taking it at face value, almost like a Stephen A take, where it's like this guy is just uttering nonsense for nonsense sake. Because
and I will try to explain myself just a little bit more because I'm not hating on it. Like we've talked on this show many a times. Like he's great, but I can't in good conscience go on and on about the prototypical player that I want being the freako. And maybe Duke's doing him a disservice. Maybe I haven't watched enough. But I watched last night against Notre Dame, who sucks, by the way, just absolutely.
Oh, they're abhorrent.
Gross. So don't even come in here and say like, oh, he had 75 and 60 last night. I turned that game on. Notre Dame had 5 white dudes on the court. Like, I think they've went full like you have to be Catholic to start here or something.
Yeah,
but he's just on the. They feed him a lot on the post, and I'm like, I watched the bandstill afterwards, and it was like, and they got rocked too, by the way. Yeah. But it's just what I want. It's just I've always wanted to take the big swings, and when I said I was kind of pumping the brakes, that was me, not saying Cam Boozer sucks. I would never say such a thing. That would be stupid.
Real quick, let's talk about this for a minute. This will be our opener, I guess, because like looking at last night's game, I hear you. He beat a bunch of white Catholic dudes, and I get that. But like, let's not overthink this. Like, I'm not getting in the weeds of analytics and all the nerds and all the LeBron BS that we did last week. But listen to this. We can take out the Notre Dame game. That's fine. Against Michigan, he had 18-10, which is a pedestrian game for him. But that's against the number one team in the country, the best defensive team in the country. If we look at the other ranked games this year, so up like the competition is better. 24-11 against rival North Carolina. Louisville, who's top 20, he had 19-10 against Louisville. In the first game, he had 27-8. Against Texas Tech in a loss, he had 23-8. Michigan State, 18-15. 29-6 against Florida. Arkansas, he had 35-9. And then early in the season, 18-11 against Kansas. Like, when the competition is better, Boozer is better. And
yes.
And if you so then all right, we're taking out of the stats bucket and we're going to the eye test. I'll admit, here in front of everybody, at the beginning of the year, I had the same opinion because I hadn't watched much Cam Boozer, and I thought we don't need a slow, unathletic post guy next to a relatively slow guy in Zach Edey, who is deceptively quick, but not like an uber athlete. But the more I have watched Cam Boozer, and I've watched him a lot because I'm really like, I have a gut feeling we're going to be in the top 4 this year. The more that dude is athletic, the more that, like, I see the athleticism. I see him beating guards and forwards off the dribble. I see him creating space. He's a bucket from beyond the arc. And yes, if he gets a mismatch or can get in the paint, he can bang with dudes down there and get buckets as well. Yeah. Like, there's a complexity to his game that maybe it's Duke's doing him a disservice.
It's kind of a throwback game, though. Like, it's kind of like what I've watched, and I've tried to watch a lot more of it. I've tried to put these games on, especially that was a 6:00 tip last night.
Yeah, perfect.
By the time I turned it on, it was over. And
yeah, Mississippi State was up 13-1 in baseball, and I flipped it over like 5 minutes in the game, and Duke was up 20-4.
Yeah,
like, it was
they were
gross.
Like 30 at the half. Like, that's just not a competitive game. But it's just like to me, it seems like what the NBA is wanting to do. Like, you're seeing these guys. A friend of the show, Bluff City Media's own draft guy.
Chip Williams.
Chip Williams. He was huge on like Colin Moore Bulls, and people were huge on Derek Queen. And it's these kind of shorter, small ball fives is they're wanting to duplicate kind of the Jokic thing with a smaller, a good passer can do everything pretty well kind of thing, but they tend to play below the rim. And so I see him at Duke, and it's just like what he does primarily is he plays on the block at the elbow, and he's getting in, he's doing post moves, he's bodying people, very physical, out rebounding, the hustle's there. I love all that. But if I think about that in NBA terms, it's like, what is typically a guy that's 6'9" is like a 4-5, a 3 or a 4, and does he have that top end explosive to get around elite NBA defenders? I know he can box out, and that's what the comment I made yesterday was like, he is fundamentals to the T. Like, you could tell he had an NBA dad who cared about the right things, and he understands the science and the trigonometry of basketball. But when it comes to explosive one-on-one with a premier NBA wing defender, what does he look like? Does he have that speed? Does he have that first step? Does he have and that's the only thing. He is still number 2 on my board. And the point I was making yesterday was DeBansta is clearly the number 1. And I think if you're a Grizzlies fan, what you've got to hope for, because say you get top 4, but you don't get 1. You really want Darren Peterson, or I'll speak for me.
Yeah,
I really want Darren Peterson to be amazing the rest of the year. And I really want Cam Boozer to be amazing the rest of the year, so that if we get picked 3, there are options outside of DeBansta that a lot of people may love. That's where I was getting at.
Yeah, and so here's agreed. Like, I want the decision to be between AJ DeBansta and Cam Boozer, and if that's the decision, I too am going DeBansta because that guy is could be a generational type talent. We use that word kind of flippantly, I think, but that is a guy that can go and just be all NBA relatively quickly. Now, I just simmed the NBA mock draft, and I ran it 3 times, and all 3 times on Tankathon, we were picking 4 times. The first 3 times, we're 8-9. I just got us the number 1 overall pick, and Tankathon has us taking Cam Boozer.
With Darren. Take Cam Boozer.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's it.
Going to take Cam Boozer.
He's a Duke guy. He's a Duke guy. But walk with me here for a second. Thinking about
nerd.
Yeah. Thinking about like our constructed roster as is, right? Like right now, if nothing changes, you're likely going to have Cedric Howard starting at the 2, hopefully Gigi starting at the 3, Cam Boozer at the 4, and then Zach Edey at the 5 is a formidable offensive lineup. There's and then whoever at point guard. It could be Scotty, it could be Ty, it could be
not good defensive lineup.
So Cam Boozer is a better defender than you're giving him credit for. Cedric is a great defender. Cam Boozer is a good defender. Edey is a great defender at rim protection.
Yeah,
like that is a lineup that could be immediately impactful next year. And I'm not saying that, like that he's going to be all NBA next year, but that's an immediately impactful lineup.
Yeah, that's another thing, and that's always kind of given me a little pause as well with the Cam Boozer thing is a lot of people are, and I really like Zach Edey. There's no doubt about that at all anymore. Like we are building around Zach Edey. So what does Cam Boozer look like around Zach Edey? And that's where a lot of people are kind of just like popping off saying it's the perfect fit. And it may be. There is going to be an aspect of this team, if it's Cam Boozer and Zach Edey, that gives me 100% confidence that we will get 100% of rebounds. Like if the ball doesn't go through the net, we are getting the ball. And that's what will happen if you've got even Gigi's uptick in rebounding percentage with Cam Boozer and Zach Edey. But just like I've always said with Zach Edey when it comes to the pick and roll is like, how do you hold up in that? The league is so pick and roll heavy anymore unless you are now the Miami Heat who have, the former Grizzlies head coach, assistant coach that doesn't do pick and rolls. It's just so pick and roll and so switchable defended. And so like I need to see something of Cam Boozer in like a pro environment. And Duke does a really good job of recruiting players to fit a system and everything else. I don't see a lot of NBA stuff that the Duke Blue Devils are doing with Cam Boozer. They shouldn't choose to do NBA stuff to show off Cam Boozer's NBA potential. You should do whatever it takes to win. But it does and it's just like he is number 2 for me, but he's a distant number 2. It's just not a done deal for me. That's all I'm saying.
And I feel what you're saying. It's almost like they're giving him kind of the Gigi treatment in Gigi's first year where everything is running through him because he's just the best player on this team. And Cam Boozer is clearly the best player on this team by a lot. I want to get to Wayno's comment in a second. Drew, thanks for carrying that. Like inside baseball, I've got some stuff going on with my dad, so I may be on and off the phone. All good right now. That was my brother. He's about to go up there and check on him. So appreciate y'all being here. Andre, thanks for tapping in down at the hospital, man. Appreciate you, buddy. Wayno, appreciate you being here. We'll get to your comment in just a second because I do want to talk about this. It just feels like maybe he's getting a bit of the Gigi treatment where he's getting all the shots, all the ISOs, all the plays. I get that. But there are some other players on this Duke lineup that are good. They've got a guard that's pretty good. Their center is good. Like they've got multiple guys that are going to be taken to the top 30.
Yeah.
I think that I think his game translates to Wayno's point here. Because if he's getting that treatment at Duke, AJ DeBansta is getting it more so at BYU because he's the only guy on that team with the pulse. As you could see last night, I didn't stay up for the game last night, but I watched the highlights this morning while I was getting ready. And like AJ DeBansta is the guy on that team. I see him being the best athlete with the most upside, but there is going to be a ramp-up period with him having to figure out how to be an NBA player, whereas Cam Boozer feels like a plug-and-play guy next year that's going to be a competent NBA player with upside. DeBansta next year might struggle, maybe a bit like we've seen Gigi and said, because they're uber athletic and we're the best player on their team. How do you fit on an NBA team? Boozer feels like the most ready-made right now.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm like overthinking this. We are in February. I'm trying to be very clear that we are talking through this early so that we can hash a lot of things out that we will know later. There's no doubt in my mind if I want somebody to play a role on a playoff team, say the Grizzlies are going to make a push and be the 8th seed in this year's playoff, and the draft happens, and they say like, all right, this guy can play tomorrow. Who do you pick? There's no doubt in my mind that Cam Boozer is the most NBA ready kind of high floor player that you can inject right now. Like that is true. But I've been consistent about this for a long time. When you're picking at the number top 4, like I want a superstar. And I see more superstar qualities with DeBansta. I see Cam Boozer being really good. The biggest shock, the only way you could shock me about Cam Boozer is to tell me that he's out of the league in 12 years. Like he is going to be in this league for a long, long time because he's just got a high floor and a high motor. But the top side, the freako stuff, the handling the ball, 6'8" guard ability, that can shoot, pass, and dribble, and has the dog in him. That's the AJ DeBansta for me.
So DeBansta and Boozer both have a super high floor. I'll concede that DeBansta's ceiling might be a bit higher because there's a world where AJ DeBansta, and again, this is February, and this is what happens when your team is tanking and you don't have a lot of great things to talk about your team. You watch a ton of college basketball and you dream. In this draft, if you told me to pick a guy that was going to be the next all-NBA superstar and SGA, Luka Jokic type level of player, it's AJ DeBansta. I think he has that level of upside. I think Boozer would be maybe next, and then maybe Darren Peterson is third. And I think the gap between AJ and Boozer is a decent gap, but I think that the guy that has the most upside to be a generational player in this draft is AJ DeBansta. Now, there's nothing wrong with drafting a future like a Tim Duncan-esque player, and I'm not comparing their games, but a guy who's super fundamentally sound, who's not going to be super sexy, super flashy, but it's going to go win you a whole bunch of basketball games. That's Cam that a guy that could play in any system, in any time, and be a good player based on what I've seen so far. DeBansta just has the superstar upside.
And I've got some real beef with one other thing. I've started watching a good bit of BYU. It works out perfectly. The West Coast games is when I've got the baby and Haley's got the 4-year-old, and we're doing bedtime, and I can sit in my chair and rock, feed the baby, and turn on whatever game I want to watch unimpeded.
Right.
Like that, perfect BYU time for me. Why are we calling him DeBansta now? I hate it.
I don't like it. No, I don't like it.
Like we've got to have the plosive of it. You know what a plosive is? It's like the syllable that makes the sound. Like I want that DeBansta, not DeBansta. Like
that's way more fun to yell.
DeBansta with the dunk. Like give me the hard A.
Yeah. Not DeBansta. DeBansta feels too proper.
I don't care about your the correct phonetic pronunciation of it. Like give me the most explosive dunk call. And we'll pronounce it that way. Like, who was it? There was somebody. I feel like it was an NBA Hall of Famer or something. It's going to drive me crazy. But basically came out and said, like, we had pronounced his name wrong the whole time. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody in the chat could probably help me out. But he was basically like, I came in the NBA and they pronounced my name this way. And, it's kind of like we did with Mike Conley. Like he was always Michael Conley Jr. until he got to the NBA and he's like, oh, it's Mike, whatever. But I really wish I could remember who that was. But
I do remember something about that. I'll chat if you want to look for it. But it's the same thing. I was calling Keaton Wagler for a long time. And then I started watching actual like highlights and Illinois breakdown and all of them calling Wagler. I like Wagler better. It fits my Northeast Mississippi vernacular a bit better. But Wagler will be a lot more fun to yell. Wagler for 3, bang! Like it just sounds better, right? But DeBansta, I'm not doing that. Like I'm not doing it. Until AJ himself comes out and says yes, it's supposed to be DeBansta. He is DeBansta from henceforth. And in that game last night when they got beat, speaking of DeBansta, their bench was like, again, this is a terrible BYU team if it's not for AJ DeBansta. Their starting lineup, DeBansta had 29. Robert Wright III had 20. Everybody else had 4, 2, 8. And listen to their bench, 0, 0, 7, 0, 14. Of the 84 points, DeBansta and Wright combined for 49, and they got 21 from the bench. What an awful BYU team outside of their 2 best players.
Yeah, I can't find it. The Kelsey brothers is actually pronounced Kels. And they kind of changed it. But it's like you always have to just go with, if you're going to be a professional athlete, you're going to have it on stage. Have a stage name. You got to make it sound, it needs to be DeBansta. Well, forget the DeBansta. We're not sophisticated. Yeah. But yeah, BYU has got a ton of money. They should be pretty good going. I mean, they got the number 1 player in the country to go to BYU and forsake sex and alcohol.
And bad words.
And bad words. I don't know how it's gotten on my algorithm, like on YouTube. But there's this dude that goes and asks students at BYU like the craziest thing they've ever done or their favorite party drink and stuff like that. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite party drink? And they're like, oh, sometimes I have Sprite. Like, what a world that you get turned on by Sprite.
Sprite that lights your fire. Yeah. I'm like Darius here. Like, if AJ doesn't come to Memphis, please don't go to the West. Like, go to an Eastern Conference team. Like, do us a solid Adam Silver. Like, let Brooklyn take him. Give it to the Pacers. Anybody else.
Because he's not going to be one of those guys that's going to be a malcontent, and that's another huge check in his box, and Boozer's box. I don't believe Boozer's going to be a malcontent either. But
no.
I tell you what, if Boozer did land anywhere outside of the Grizzlies, be cool if he ended up in Chicago.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Anywhere for me, let him go anywhere but San Antonio, or which they're not going to be in the lottery, or the freaking Thunder. Because if the Clippers end up in the lottery and they get Boozer, like Boozer and Chet in the post is just stupid. Just stupid.
Yeah, that would be devastating.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, no, let's just take both. Let's trade up and get them both.
Do what me and Wayno suggested. Flatten the lottery odds for all teams that don't make the playoffs, and we hash it out on live television.
Yeah. I gave you a great idea.
You draw the lottery ball, and you have 10 minutes to make your selection. And you keep all the GMs in a room in the back. They don't know the selection. And so if you double up, the GMs don't know who's been selected. So say number 1 goes Cam Boozer, Grizzlies pick number 2, and they're like, oh, I think that Indiana just took Darren Peterson. So the Grizzlies go and pick Cam Boozer. Well, he's already on a team. So you fall down a pick, and it'd be hilarious.
It would be hilarious. Almost as hilarious as doing a Royal Rumble style where you pick the order. All the GMs come out and the last man standing gets the first pick. You get, like, as you're eliminated, that's your pick, and last man standing gets the first pick. Zach Kleiman, you better get to training, buddy, is all I got to say.
No, listen, that ain't going to work for us. I don't trust Zach Kleiman in a cage match.
Not with a guy like Steve Ballmer would be a problem with his energy.
Well, he's an owner. Are we doing owner?
Oh, that's owner. I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true.
You would have.
I don't like Sam Presti's chances because he's a small, wiry kind of frame guy too. He'd be bounced pretty early. If Larry Bird was still the GM,
you could take. You could probably take Danny Ainge at his age.
Yeah.
You probably got a bad knee or two.
Brad Stevens feels like the one that's probably the most athletic remaining GM.
Probably.
That he could
but he's
probably
not going to be in the lottery.
Well, yeah. I just said you take all 30 GMs and do it that way. Because that kind of goes back. I saw it right before we went live, and I wish I could have saved it. You know how Twitter will show you a tweet and then it refreshes and it's gone? There was an image, and it said, what if we made NBA coaches coach like baseball coaches and had Steve Kerr and Joe Mazzulla in like an actual full uniform? And then I thought about the picture of Popovich in the USA shorts that are like more like capris down to where the top of his socks are. Like you imagine like Pop out there coaching in Spurs shorts down to his tall white socks. Like that would be incredible.
It would be bad. Joe Mazzulla would absolutely do it. Like he's wondering why in the world why don't I have a number?
100%. He would actually sub himself in. Although Taylor Jenkins probably would too, because he did go out and play defense in one game against the Knicks. So
yeah.
Well, hey, listen, this is a good time to take our commercial break. We decided to get a little buffoonery in around college basketball and the picks, and so we went along on that. So we're gonna hit the commercial break, and then on the other side, we're gonna talk about the Grizzlies game tonight. I got a best bet for you. You never know what else will bubble up, so stick with us after the commercial break.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. I know it's difficult to like have this conversation because we really don't know, but like, what are your expectations going into this season? Like,
I don't even know what to expect. Honestly, and I'm worried. I'm worried that if something, if we come out and Huff goes 8-5, people are going to be pissed off. But I'm like,
oh, they absolutely will be pissed off.
I know there will be people for certain. Literally, the entire football program is brand new. I have to keep reminding myself that.
It's so weird because I want to have really high expectations because everything coming out of the Memphis football program right now is like top tier, top notch. Everything is being done the right way. It is awesome what's happening over there. Should we expect a championship in his first? That would be absurd for him to come in and win an American Conference championship his first season. It'd be absurd.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. Tune in to Tigers Untapped with your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the $2 Sports Show on Bluff City Media's YouTube and Twitter pages, as well as Rusty's Facebook page for all of his grandparents. What's up, everybody? We are entering our second segment of the show. It's 11:30 a.m. Thank you for joining us. What's up, King Meeks? What's up, Edward? Everybody in the comments. Hey, if you guys want to help us out, if you're enjoying the show, please just head on over, like the stream real quick. You can exit out the chat, hit the like button, hop back in the chat. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so we can notify you anytime that this show goes live. You don't have to have your appointment book or calendar out. You can just rely on the smartphone app, which is nice to do. So
That's it.
Grizzlies play basketball tonight in a game at FedEx Forum against a rival, Golden State Warriors, in which we will get to see Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler take on John Morant and Jaren Jackson. I mean, no, we may get to see D'Anthony Melton and we may get to see Kyle Anderson play against it. I don't know. Who's playing in this game?
So it's no longer Jaren in the G League anymore. Like I think it's like Ty is, maybe it's Gigi in the G League because Ty is in and out of the lineup. You get Ty Jerome tonight. You get Scottie Pippen Jr. tonight. Santi Aldama out. Cedric Howard out. KCP out. John Moran out. Kyle Anderson's game time decision. And then over on the other side, no Porzingis. I always want to call him Tingus Pingus from that draft night video. Like I will always like. Do you remember that?
I don't remember. I forgot.
Oh my, Michael Rappaport, big Knicks fan, goofy guy. They were like, he's like, who did we draft? We could have had, I forget who he says, but instead we take Tingus Pingus. I always think about that when it comes to Kristaps Porzingis. I'll send you the video. If you haven't seen it, y'all need to look it up. It's Michael Rappaport's reaction to Kristaps Porzingis. He's an idiot, but Tingus Pingus resonates with me every time I think about that. He's out. Steph is out. Jimmy Butler's out. Al Horford's the game time decision. I mean, like it's a bunch of bums, man. It's a bunch of bums.
Are they taking? Because they're in the playoffs, right? I don't look at the standings. I mean, they're
slightly. I believe they're right above us in the standings, if I'm not mistaken.
They are not going to punt on the season.
They're in the 8th position. They are 2.5 games back ahead of Phoenix and 2.5 games ahead of the Blazers and Clippers as the 8th seed right now.
The Clippers are the 10 seed.
The Clippers are the 10 seed, and they are 5.5 games up on us.
Okay, we need them to win a couple play-in games. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't need them anywhere near the lottery, so that because we all know, I think we can all admit that Adam Silver is going to be selective with who gets the first couple of picks, much like he did for Victor Wembanyama, much like he did with Cooper Flagg. Though, like that's going to happen, and so we don't need him to be able to manipulate and get the Thunder up there somehow.
Yeah. I've never subscribed to that. So,
buddy, we need to talk about the Tooth Fairy because, like,
you always say that, but the person believing in the conspiracy theory is the person that would also believe in the Tooth Fairy, not the guy who doesn't believe.
The problem with that is the evidence. I like keep going out. Like, listen, the devil's coming at you for lying, is what that is. Because there's no way that LeBron goes to the Cavs and Cooper Flagg goes to the Mavericks last year. Wemby goes to the Spurs. Like again, I'm not saying the entire lottery is rigged, but when there are this caliber of players, the top 2 or 3 picks, at least the first pick is going to be manipulated.
Listen, all good conspiracy theories start with the semblance of a thread of evidence. The problem is that you look at the end result and say the evidence. It has to be rigged, but we've never actually. Nobody can ever tell me how it's done. Like there are 50 people in the room with the lottery balls. Somebody, and they all have a vested interest. Somebody.
You're an engineer. You're an engineer, right? Do you understand how magnets? Do you understand how magnets work?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but magnets in a lottery ball can be a thing.
There is so much to lose. Like, you're talking about.
You're making my point.
No, I'm actually.
There's so much. Hang on. There's so much to lose if Wemby goes to the Wizards or Wemby goes to Sacramento. There's so much to lose.
The risk is that you turn out this whole thing has been a man behind a curtain and it's a sham, and you lose fans. You lose owners. Like
nobody will care.
But there's everybody watches it, and nobody's ever complained. And that's where I always land. Everybody watches.
Nobody complained. Did you watch any of the aftermath? Like after Cooper Flagg,
from the people in there that watch it.
So there's been multiple reports that have come out from reporters in the last couple of months where every GM, every owner, every front office, whatever in the NBA believes last year was rigged. Like every single one of them have come out and said that.
Yeah. No, not every single one of them, but there have been people that say it's got to be rigged, which is what you're saying. It's got to be rigged. No one has ever shown a way that it is. Like nobody has ever said like this is outside of the Patrick Ewing in the 80s, which I mean that's obvious. You watch that. That's obvious.
So,
but
okay, so you believe the Patrick Ewing was obvious, but not LeBron, not Cooper Flag, not Wemby.
Way of doing things.
Like again,
it was a different way of doing it.
You're a smart guy. You know magnets and things can work, like how these things can happen, right? Like
I'm just saying, if the Grizzlies have had arguably the worst luck of any team that's ever been high in draft lottery odds. Like we didn't get LeBron James when we had the worst record. We
partially
didn't get
because
Kevin
he went to
Durant.
Cleveland.
Well, and we didn't get Kevin Durant or Greg Oden when we had the worst record. When we had the worst record, we didn't get the number one pick who gotten Luka Doncic. We got the fourth. But nobody at the Grizzlies who were watching it have ever said like anything even resembling the fact that, oh, that was fishy. Like they just because
they don't see A, small market, B, we screwed it up for so long. We took Hasheem Thabit. We took these guys that like we had no business taking when you had a chance. I really think, I truly think that nobody would care if they figured out it was rigged because, like, they're doing it. They're doing the league
wrong,
and they're doing the league a service to where Wemby is not buried in Sacramento, and you didn't get Cooper Flag going to Washington or whatever, but instead they're protecting the brands of these players to be able to go to places where actually get to see them be great and not be buried in Sacramento. And I really think that. This is why I have a gut feeling because when we had a superstar who played and was a big part of the franchise, we were a must-see product. We were people watched and talked about and cared about the Grizzlies. I think we're going to get a top 4 pick this year just because there are so many superstars in this draft.
Yeah, and see, your reason is exactly the reason why I disagree. You say like, oh, it's good for the NBA. My point is that all these small market teams that always suck, like in the Grizzlies in the past. Yeah. Detroit, until they got Cade Cunningham, had always been terrible and they'd never gotten a number 1 pick. Those teams would not take it lying down because it's good for the NBA. Like, no.
I disagree. I think that again, I'm not saying that 1 through 30 is rigged, but I think at least 1 through 3 are. Truly are. That's the thing.
We need to bring back the draft in the offseason and draft our favorite conspiracy theories because I'm not anti-conspiracy theory, as David says here. Like, my favorite conspiracy theory ever turned out to be a conspiracy theory itself and a hoax, but the birds aren't real.
Yeah.
Which turned out to just be like satire, making fun of people who believe on conspiracy theories. I thought it was so funny when I would see people say like, oh, birds aren't real. They're just government drones. The last bird died in 1986. They've all been replaced with government drones.
That's amazing. No, that's amazing. Listen, I think Sasquatch and Bigfoot's out there somewhere. You're looking at one. I'm a derivative of Bigfoot, obviously. And so he's out there somewhere.
Not a very long derivative.
No, I'm like 1A over here. Yeah, that's it. Everybody's been looking for the missing link for years. Here I am.
I talk about this with my wife a lot when raising kids and trying to decide which kid's lying, which kid's telling the truth, who hit each other first. I believe in Occam's razor. Like, I would just always believe that Occam's razor is valid and true. And if you don't know what Occam's razor is, it is the thought that the most likely solution or the most likely reasoning behind an event happening is more times than not the truth. So what is the most likely outcome? So when you're talking about like JFK, you're talking about birds aren't real. You're talking about the moon landing. What is the most likely explanation for this? And more times than not, that's probably true.
Fair.
And that is my solution with the NBA draft lottery as well. It's like, what's the most likely solution? There's 400 ping pong balls in here. They give each team a list of 50 potential 10 ball combinations. What's most likely is that it's a lottery and it's a fluke. That's the most likely.
I disagree. When we're talking about billions and millions of dollars, millions and millions in ad revenue, these are rookie numbers, by the way, David Owens. You got to get those numbers up, man. 94% is that's being kind to me. It's at least 98.
Yeah. He scratched his forehead with his foot when he's off camera.
That's it. And you could park a basketball on this ledge I got right here on my head. But like when there's millions in revenue and millions in betting and advertisements and shoe deals and all this stuff on the line, things like the number 1 overall pick are not left to chance.
I don't think that the NBA would be happier. I don't think you can make the NBA happier than to say every team has a marketable superstar. And so
wait, say that again. Hang on, say that again.
I think the NBA would be happy with spreading the superstars out throughout the league, not doing favors to one team or the other team.
I disagree.
I think that Ja Morant being in Memphis was great. And if you could have got another viral superstar in DC, great, big market. If you could have gotten one in Brooklyn, great. Like, I don't think that they duck those. I think they want everybody to have one.
I disagree. I think they want him to go to the biggest markets with the most viewers, the most eyes on these games, with the most potential for advertising and shoe deals and revenue. That's where they want these players to go. They're not going to go let a guy that has like otherworldly potential like Wemby go to Sacramento and get buried on a bad roster where they still, even with Wemby, are winning 15, 20 games. Like, that's not going to happen. He's going to go to a place like San Antonio that has a history of developing players into legit superstars. That's where he's going to go. Cooper Flagg is going to go to Dallas because Nico Harrison did him a solid getting Luka to L.A.
Yeah. Do we have a lawyer in the
Oh yeah, David Owens is a lawyer. Yeah, absolutely.
Go write his name down.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you practice in Tennessee, and we'll keep you on retainer.
I live by Occam's razor. And it keeps me so far from, because a lot of people can be, and this is self-preservation for my own like mental health as well. It's like you can get paralyzed. This is what happens with these conspiracy theorists who get on YouTube and Reddit and just dive. It's like, the game is always let me connect these dots, figure out a way to connect these dots, and it saves me my sanity a lot of times just to say what is most likely isn't always the truth, but it's most likely the truth, and I can just live with that.
Yeah. And wait, I'm not saying that they're going to go to one or two teams, but like teams like Boston, the Lakers, San Antonio, Miami, these type teams are usually always going to have a superstar. Like, they can do without Charlotte and Memphis and some of these other, even like a Minnesota until recently, like, can do without a superstar. But some of these teams are always going to have a superstar. They will not let Boston or the Lakers or the Spurs go long without a superstar.
I have a hard time with the San Antonio of it all.
It's because they've earned it.
Yeah, but they don't fit the same mold as what with the other, like, they're not a market.
I agree,
a well-run
but
organization.
That's it, and that's a system in a well-run organization.
That you would shoehorn Wemby in.
I think if you put Greg Popovich in, say he came to Memphis and was our first coach in Memphis and did what he did in Memphis with what he did in San Antonio, we would get some of the favor that San Antonio gets.
And also with San Antonio, it's a lot of things we talk about in college football, and I bang the drum with. It is consistent. It is pulling in the same direction. R.C. Buford's been there for as long as Greg Popovich was there. Ownership, front office, and coaching has all been aligned. Yeah, and stable. It's
stable. And I'm saying, listen, yes, they already have superstars in those locations, Wayne, but what I'm saying is when this current iteration of their superstar moves on, it won't be long before they get an opportunity at another one, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not there. And listen, if the Grizzlies fall with the 8th best odds and you've got your feeling that we're going to be top 4, and if the Grizzlies get slided or have the lottery balls drawn and they landed their most likely spot, which is 8 as of right now, and they get jumped by, say, pick somebody behind us, the Clippers. They get jumped by the Clippers. Oh, that would suck though. It's OKC.
Milwaukee.
I'm not going to be the guy that just says like, "Oh, Adam Silver wants sheer domination by Oklahoma City," because I don't think that's what Adam Silver wants. I think it wants competition.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's fair. I agree. I just think that they want competition, and they're not going to put every superstar in LA and Boston, but they're going to give them a superstar. They want competition, but not to the detriment of millions, possibly billions in advertising revenue, shoe deals, tickets, eyes on the product.
We live in a society now with NBA fans, and this is just an NBA thing, in which if you like a player, if you fall in love with Cam Boozer as a Duke Blue Devil, or AJ DeBansta as a BYU Cougar, or Kingston Flemings as a Houston Cougar, then you're just going to follow him to whatever team. You're not going to be like, oh, he went to Washington, I'm not pulling for him anymore. That's not how these new school NBA fans.
The new school fans, yeah.
And so I don't really buy that either. Like, you're going to cheer for players, or you're going to cheer for teams. If you cheer for teams, you're going to cheer for your team regardless of who's playing for it. If you cheer for players, you're going to cheer for that player regardless of what team he's playing on. So I don't really buy that either.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are on record. We root for Laundry. I will root for whoever puts on the maroon and white, whoever put on Beale Street blue, whoever is in Cubs pinstripes. Like, that's just what I root for.
Right.
I'll always have a soft spot. Say again.
The right way to do things.
That's it. I'll have a soft spot for Jaren for the rest of the time he's in the league. Like, I'll always kind of hope he does well. But when it comes down to it, I'm not going to root for his success over the success of the Memphis Grizzlies. And that's the difference in us and some of these new bot, faceless Twitter accounts that just stand for one player. Like, there will be a lot. And like, listen, you do your thing. I'm not sitting up here on my high horse judging. Like, you do your thing. If you want to follow John Morant to the Kings or to the Heat, go ahead. Take your account over there. That's actually better for our fan base because like, we're rooting for the name on the front of the jersey, because the name on the back of the jersey will always change.
Yeah. And that was the biggest detriment to the Grit and Grind Grizzlies, is that there was no viral superstar. Like, we were underrated and underwatched because we didn't have that guy. And so, it's kind of bred into us, probably more than others, is the fact that, I don't care about I'll to your point, I also will love Jaren forever. Not because I love Jaren Jackson Jr. at Michigan State, but because he was a Grizzly for 8 seasons, or almost 8 full seasons. And I have a lot of sweat. I have a lot of jerseys, but because he played for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll always have a soft spot for him because of that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to root like when Zebo went to the Kings. I didn't become a Kings fan, though he's my all-time favorite NBA player. Say again.
Yeah, I shed a tear.
I did too. But he's my all-time favorite NBA player. But I didn't go become a Kings fan. I'm still a Grizzlies fan through and through, and will always appreciate that. I will always be a Grizz fan first, and the name on the back second, always. And again, I like watching Cade Cunningham play basketball. I think he's phenomenal. Paulo Banchero, I like watching him, but that doesn't mean I'm a fan of their team. I just like watching those dudes.
You know what?
USA.
What did Herb Brooks say? What did Kurt Russell as Herb Brooks say in the movie Miracle? Okay, he made them run until he said, "Who do you play for?" And they didn't say their college anymore. They said USA. Yep. And who do you play for? You play for the Memphis Grizzlies. Guess what? That's who I root for.
That's it, man. That's it. I root for the Memphis Grizzlies. And speaking of the Memphis Grizzlies, if you want to win a little money to
Oh, I was thinking, I saw Cohen's name. I was like, sorry, Cohen. It wasn't.
So,
it was Davis.
Yeah. But if you want to win a little money over on FanDuel on the Grizzlies, I got you a same game profit or same game parlay with a 50% profit. But let me start all over again.
Yeah.
If you want to win some money tonight on a Bucks best bet over on FanDuel, I've got a same game parlay that I teased out a little bit to include a couple of sure bets to bet some trends here. So tonight, for the same game parlays over on FanDuel, you can get a 50% profit boost for NBA games. So I took advantage of that. I took GG over 15 points because he's been on an absolute tear lately.
Yep.
Ty Jerome, as long as he doesn't come in wearing some sick new hat or sunglasses and somebody calls it out, Ty Jerome plays tonight. I got him over 6+ assists. Again, a very safe bet for one Ty Jerome. Cade Cunningham over 25 points. And Stephon Castle, 4+ rebounds tonight in their games, gets me plus 2,311 odds. I am going. I feel like this one's going to hit. I feel really confident about this because I'm betting some trends, betting on the Grizzlies a little bit, and getting that profit boost.
Edwards got that sane brain. R.I.P. No, you catch that one at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. Not here. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good with all that. Listen, thoughts and prayers. I hope Ty Jerome's okay. I hope he's okay. He could be out for a long time.
I mean, he could be out for a long, long time.
Yeah. This is what college football needs to do, and all college sports need to do. The injury reports allow for both teams to kind of jockey who they're going to play and who they're not going to play. College sports do not have any injury reports, and so there's all kinds of allegations and holding, and you can play games. Like, quit playing games. You have to play your games, but your games have to be set in stone. No holding guys and sitting guys on the jerseys on the benches decoys. Like,
you're talking about you're tapping into tanking and fixing the tanking system is what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to fix tanking. We can't start that conversation 50 minutes into a show, but
no.
I think me and fixed it.
Yeah. Or you can tune in tomorrow, the $2 Sports Show at 11 a.m. We can talk about some tanking tomorrow. Yeah. But got anything else today, Drew? Anything else on your mind you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah, y'all let me know how this game goes tonight. It's February 25th, which is a day that me and my family have been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah.
Episode number 1 of the 50th season of Survivor is tonight. We love Survivor. And listen, I've always said, like, I'm not a reality TV fan. I've found myself being like a super reality TV fan. Like, for nothing TV, we turn on American Idol because my wife loves the scene. The kids can get behind it. I am just the biggest of Survivor fan. I think it's the greatest show that's ever been created. And they're doing the 50th season, bringing back 24 old players. Zach Brown, I think, is making it. I don't know. They're doing weird stuff. I'm so pumped. I'm not going to say anything more about it because this isn't the audience that probably gives a dang. But we could talk about personal lives, and this excites me a great deal.
I hear you. I mean, listen, I'm in the thrones of a Parks and Rec rewatch. Thank you. Throws of a Parks and Rec rewatch that I didn't know I needed. We watched the trial of Leslie Knope last night, which is such a strong episode. In the end, the one like what's the one after it?
That's the one where he makes the claymations, right? Ben makes the claymations.
That's the next one. That's the next one.
Okay.
The one we watched last night. We finished up with the trial of Leslie Knope, and that's where they make the gingerbread house for her, and then they announce that she's still going to run for office, even though like her advisors are quitting on her, and like they make the little like gingerbread house for her, and it's really good, really, really solid.
Ben resigns in disgrace.
And he keeps saying it over and over again. And then the ending is John Ralphio going in for the job with the accounting firm, and he hits on that girl, and he's like, "You're fired." He was like, "Yep, makes sense. Out the same way I came," and then just walks out the door.
I have such an appreciation for like the C-list sitcom characters, and John Ralphio may be on the Mount Rushmore with like Creed Bratton.
Yeah.
And,
Maggie keeps going, "I hate him so much." I'm like, "You're supposed to," and that's why we like him so much. You're supposed to.
In the old-fashioned way. Got hit by
Alexis.
Hey, Ken Darius loves.
Shout out to the Encompass Health crew. Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all very soon. I'll be back in there, I believe, next week. So appreciate that, Andre. Ken Darius is a Survivor guy and apparently Big Brother as well.
Yeah, I've never watched Big Brother, but I think they're kind of in the same vein.
Yeah, I watched it with my dad some. Maggie likes some reality TV. I'm not a big reality TV guy. I never really have been. It's never been my thing.
I don't like there's a line. Like, I'm never going to be a housewives. I'm never going to be a bachelor, bachelorette, like not any of that. But like the reality game shows, I think is where I'm kind of at. And
yeah, that's fair.
Survivor's great. I actually watched one thing. If you wanted to watch, it's kind of neat. It's a smaller bite size, like 10 episodes. Is Traitors, which is
Maggie loves that show. Yeah.
Have you ever played Secret Hitler? It's basically Secret Hitler.
Yeah. Somebody in there is a traitor. You got to figure out who it is. I've watched it. What I've watched when I'm making dinner and she's watching it, it does seem enjoyable.
Yeah, it is. you know, you have to, when they have the big cast before it gets whittled down into the nitty gritty, it's like the drama and the reality.
The Kelsey's mom was on that show.
Oh, was she? I've only watched the first season.
Donna. She was on the second season, I believe. Yeah, she was on it. Yep. But that's going to do it for your Wednesday edition of the 2 Bucks Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets. Thank y'all for tapping in. The comments were popping today, as always. Cohen, Kendarius, David, King Meeks, Wayno, Edward, everybody, all the
David Owens, Esquire
was here. Yeah, absolutely. Like we gotta be on our P's and Q's here. We got a lawyer watching now, Drew.
I think we have a retainer.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's it. But we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We are live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central on Bluff City Media's YouTube channel. Tap into the Sane Show at 1 o'clock if you want to be part of that Sane gang or whatever Edward's talking about. But we appreciate y'all being a part of the Bucks Buffoons here at 11 a.m. We appreciate y'all doing that.
Make the shirt.
New band name, called it Bucks Buffoon. Appreciate y'all being here. In the meantime, until tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, y'all go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, tell them why there are no refunds.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for, which is a mixed bag. I hope everybody has a good Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the 2 Bucks Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.